Do you ever just feel like overwhelmed by the world? I feel so overwhelmed. It's like not like I have all of these like things telling me how to live, and I don't know. I'm feeling very like sometimes things feel very hard. Like I'm not sure how to do the right thing always. Does that make sense? Like life is very complicated. Like they make it seem like life is, black and white, and that you should always do this and never do this. But as you get older, the things that you should do and shouldn't do gets a lot more like morally gray. Does that make sense? And it becomes more like the shopping cart thing. Like if you return the shopping cart, nobody's going to say anything. But if you do return the shopping cart, no one's going to say anything. And that it's morally right to return the shopping cart, but nobody's going to congratulate you and nobody's going to tell you otherwise, but it's still the right thing to do. And it's like, I don't know. But then sometimes it's like not even that clear cut as that. Does that make sense? It's like, it's not even that. Like the water thing, they say, oh, you shouldn't buy bottled water, but which kind of bottled water? Is it just Nestle products that you should be buying, or is it all bottled water? And under which circumstances should you not be buying bottled water? Because if you were in, Flint, Michigan, I mean, having bottled water was kind of the only thing to do. And bottled water is sort of a convenience that if you, have bad tap water, because my sister has bad tap water where she lives, bottled water is like the only saving grace that she has to drinking proper water. And I don't have a soda stream, so drinking canned sparkling water is the only way that I get is a convenience, because I can't afford a soda stream. I don't know. So it's like, is it convenience? Is it what is the morally right thing to do here? Under which circumstance is it okay? And nobody's going to police you and tell you, well, and I'm not seeking validation of like, oh, it's okay. You can do it this once. It's like, for me and myself, I'm trying to understand where my values lie. So it's me to myself trying to understand these things. I have to use the bathroom. Hang on, we'll be right back. And I think that's what she's talking about in Braiding Sweetgrass, is like consumptive culture over, like convenience over the long haul, over like, because, you know, the short-term consumptive culture of society, of having this thing right now and doing the short term of what feels good. And she talks about, like, I'm at this part like a quarter of the way through where she's talking about they're trying to clean up pollution, and pollution, uh, being able to pollute is a short-term solution to a problem that has long-term consequences. Consumptive culture, being able to have something in the current, sets up for short-term solutions to a consumptive culture that have long-term consequences. And so when you think in the long term as far as how you want to be living your life and what example you want to be setting for life, then that change, like, if you change that perspective on how you want to live, how you want to be doing those things. And that's why you get things like the shopping cart theory of putting the shopping cart back, because it's that perspective change of thinking in the long term. You think the next person, or the people who are collecting the shopping carts, you're thinking about them in the long term and how it will be easier for them. It'll be easier for the cars parking their cars, and so they won't get hit by the shopping carts. You're thinking in the long term beyond just this moment of convenience of you being able to get in your car and go home. You're thinking beyond just this present moment and this present time of convenience. And so, yes, it does take extra steps and what it is you are paying in the commodity of time in order to give that long-term solution of doing the morally right thing. So you are paying with time, energy, and effort. So do I feel guilty about drinking this Perrier? I do. But I've already bought it. So this is where we're at. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I want snacks. I want stuff for my house. It was just like a knee-jerk reaction, consumptive culture. I just got in my car and drove away, kind of thing. But, I do grocery pickup, so it's not exactly as bad as the grocery cart thing, but it's still not great. But yeah, so I've been thinking about this, like, purchasing, I don't know, maybe I'm just being too hard on myself. But it's something that I'm thinking about, like, it's not just commodities, because I'm thinking about, like, how I want to live my life in the long term. And it's a reorganization of myself. I'm not sure. But this book, Braiding Sweetgrass, is giving me a lot to think about. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking. I think that's what a good book does, is it causes you to evaluate yourself, I suppose. Evaluate your situation. Ask yourself what kind of person you want to be. I love how it doesn't say anything about being a Nestle product. Oh, yes, it does, right there. Very quietly, Nestle. But it was manufactured in the south of France. Something to think about.